There is a saying among our people that a giant cannot come to a place where there is a horse. Horses love endless fields. They like running long distance. The horse runs in the steppes even in the bitterly cold winter. That is how it grows up to be a healthy horse. Horses that run long distances have broad chests. They grow up to be fast, energetic, healthy horses. This time the creative team of the expedition aimed to capture the traditional competition of Kopkari, one of the favorite horse trainings of the Turks, which was forgotten for a while and is now becoming more popular. Now we have come to the house of a man who was planning to hold a Kopkari in Ommagon village of Shahrisabz district of Kashkadarya region. Here, according to tradition, a Kopkari is organized at the circumcision ceremony of boys. In Kashkadarya, Surkhandarya and some other regions, this tradition is strictly followed. Kopkari requires a lot of money, of course. In families that cannot afford it, horses are raised and riders are trained. It's a great shame for the young man and the owner of the horse not to be able to participate in Kopkari. Preparations are underway for tomorrow's circumcision ceremony and the upcoming Kopkari competition. Relatives and neighbors of the owner of the wedding are working together. Guests and riders from neighboring villages came to participate in Kopkari. They have been accommodated in the houses of the surrounding neighbors as well as in the inn. The day before the circumcision ceremony, the work doesn't stop at all. When someone takes a break, another man continues his duties. In villages like this, the people are very sincere and united. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. Preparations are underway to cook pilaf in big pots. Each region has interesting and unique traditions. One enjoys watching the process of preparation, the sincerity of the people. What is the name of this dish? Kazan korkitar, which means carrying the pot. Cooking this dish has become a tradition. This is an old tradition. Before cooking the main dish, we add oil to the pot and fry some meat. Those who serve here may eat a piece of fried meat. We have a belief that if we do this ritual, the pot is afraid and it obeys the cook. So, is the pot afraid now? Yes, it is scared. Is the pot under your control? Yes, of course. The cook has fried some meat and we are eating and enjoying it. Is the Kopkari competition held only in the winter? Yes, it's mainly held in winter. You can't do a Kopkari game in the summer because it is hot in summer. Horses can't run well in hot weather. They run better in the cold. Do many people come to see the Kopkari? Are they interested? People come after hearing and saying there will be a Kopkari game. They eat pilaf in the morning and go to the place where Kopkari is held. How many prizes will be awarded? 40, 50 prizes will be awarded. So this Kopkari game is mostly fun with the wedding ceremonies, right? Kopkari is mainly performed at the circumcision of boys. It's intended to do Kopkari with the birth of a child. It has been 9 years since we intended to hold this Kopkari. It's obvious that horses nearby are annoyed by something. The wedding atmosphere is stirring the horses, encouraging them to Kopkari game. Did you hear that? Hundreds of horses are neighing in the stables. They are also moving early in the morning like people. Here pilaf is cooked on a big pot. Let's observe the process together. It's morning. The roosters are crowing. The dogs are barking. The sun is shining its golden rays and rising above the horizon. The pilaf dish is ready. One by one, the villagers are coming to the circumcision wedding. Elder grandparents and great-grandmothers came in and sat down. Food was served to them. Circumcised children are in the spotlight today. Everyone wants to have a wedding. They want to hold a Kopkari competition. They want the people to enjoy the Kopkari game. This is actually a full game. On the other hand, in modern parlance, it's a sport. There are big prizes in this game. I also rode a horse. I rarely participated in the Kopkari, but I have participated at many wrestling competitions. Horseback riding is a good thing. Now the goat is being slaughtered for use in the Kopkari competition. Slaughtering goat serves as a trophy of this game. According to the rules of the Kopkari, the riders have to take that slaughtered goat out of the crowd. For example, a bull can be given for a prize. If you can grab the trophy from the ground and reach finish line without losing it, that bull will be yours. Bakawul, or in other words, referee and announcer of the Kopkari game, first reminds the rules of the game for all riders. He tells all horsemen should ride carefully, not to fall, not to be dishonest. He then throws out the trophy and announces that one bull will be given as a prize. On the field, 100, 200 horsemen compete with each other for the prey. The rider who takes the prey out of the crowd wins. The prize will be awarded to the winner. The horsemen who are temporarily living in the houses of the neighbors are preparing their horses for the Kopkari. To participate in Kopkari, guest riders from about 30-40 nearby villages and the district center are accommodated in the village hotels. They make the final preparations here to participate in the Kopkari. Now let's talk to one of the horsemen. This is our profession. This profession has its own secrets. It's a sport. We do more of this sport. Our country is peaceful. There are many weddings. If there is peace, there will be many such ceremonies. How are you preparing for Kopkari? It has its own difficulties. The riders had to work hard on themselves. We train horses according to our direction. The horse I am riding may not be ridden by anyone else, or I cannot ride the other riders' horses. That is why we train horses from a young age. Out of 1,000 horses, only 100 can participate at the Kopkari. Not all horses can play in this game. How do you know if a horse can play in Kopkari or not? Or is it known in the process of riding them? We find out it in the process of upbringing. It's not possible to know this immediately after a birth of a colt. After riding, feeding and training the horse, it's known whether the horse can participate at Kopkari or not. How long do you get used to the horses of other horsemen? After participating at competitions 4 or 5 times. A good horse does not choose a rider. Horses try to get into the crowd more than the horseman. 80% of the work in the game is done by the horse and 20% by the rider. The horseman can pick up the trophy only if the horse goes to the trophy. If the horse does not go and stand by the carcass of the goat, the rider will not be able to grab the trophy, even though he is an excellent horseman. So the horse has to break through the crowd? Yes, it has to fight with other horses for the trophy. If there are 100 horses running in the field, even if one of the riders falls to the ground, the horses will not step on him. If a horse steps on a person, that person may die. The horse is a very clever animal. It knows that man has fallen to the ground. Not just my horse, all of the 100 horses out there will not step on a man. The horse knows that the man is lying on the ground. The horses anticipate many things. They know snow, rain and storms in advance. The horses here are also trampling the ground, feeling that there will be a Kopkari game. Preparations are great. Yesterday we also participated at Kopkari in Surkhandarya village. I named my horse Buran, meaning storm. I raised it from the age of 6 months. It's now 10 years old. Last time it won 2 goats, a carpet, 300,000 sums. We were happy with that. I hope to win even more prizes in the future. My horse participates at the Kopkari every year. It's ridden by a rider named Norkapalwan. I have also played Kopkari. From the age of 10, I chose a colt for myself, raised it and rode for 20 years. Thanks God, I am now 66 years old. I am still interested in horses. I teach riding to my children and other guys of the village. The horse is a wonderful animal. It's sad that a horse wants good for itself and its owner. I have been involved in horses for a long time. I looked after a few horses. Thanks God, I circumcised my 6 children and held Kopkari games at their circumcision ceremonies. A horse is a blessed animal. The horse is a good-natured, clever, beautiful creature. It's a 4-legged, tailed animal. There are plenty of 4-legged creatures in the world. Not all 4-legged animals can be domesticated either. Not all animals can be friends with people. First of all, you have to train the horse yourself. It's not easy to train a horse. Not everyone can turn a trailed animal into a human friend. First of all, a person must do this work sincerely. Horses are prepared for many competitions from an early age. Some people buy a horse at the age of 7 or 8. Some people raise horses from the age of 6 months. The horse will not participate at the Kopkari until it is 6 or 7 years old. The horse should be well fed from an early age, well cared and treated like a big horse. The horse is trained hard after the age of 6. Thus, it's prepared for Kopkari. A horse ready for a Kopkari race is given on to its rider. The horseman slowly lets it to the ground, loads the prey on it, and continues training it in this way. Horses are great if they are only ridden by one man. Some horses can also be ridden by several riders. Horses are innately clever animals. Notice that the narrator tells a story. If he makes a mistake, he immediately stops and corrects it. A poet writes poetry. If the poet does not like a line of his poem, he deletes and rewrites it. The artist draws a picture. In the picture, the eyebrow of a man may not look like an eyebrow, and the horse's mane may not look like mane. The artist immediately draws the human eyebrow like an eyebrow and the horse mane like mane. But if the rider makes a mistake in the training of the horse, he will not be able to correct it later. Whatever character a four-legged animal finds in the period of growing up, the horse will retain with that character for a lifetime. What a horse learns in the process of growth, it continues to do until it dies. What it sees, what it learns, all remain in its body and brain. As the horse grows older, the rider will hurt himself if he tries to change the horse. An adult horse cannot be changed. A great horse is formed from the intellect of a horseman. It becomes one of the best horses because of the love of its owner. The horse's nickname is Rainbow. It has won at many Kopkari. What was its last prize? Last time it won a colt, 2 goats and 300,000 soms. When did this happen? Recently, it has been a month. It wins every race. The breed of this horse is Karabayır. In the past, Karabayır horses were in high demand. This breed of horse is well tolerated to cold and hot weather. It can easily carry a 100-pound rider and 100-pound goat. Only self-confident horses can participate at Kopkari. The wedding ceremony lasted until noon. After that, Kopkari was announced. From now on, only women will continue the party. All young and old men go to the Kopkari game. We headed to the steep where Kopkari will be held. The steep was between interconnected hills. Spectators lined up like sparrows on the side of the road in the brown hills. Some are lying in groups on the surrounding hills. In the more remote parts of the hill, riders are preparing their horses for Kopkari. There is a saying among the people, men become friends by talking to each other and horses find friends by neighing. Anyone who watches them from the sidelines and does not know much about horses may think those horses are fighting. The hill is full of horses and riders. Among them, both Kopkari participants and those who do not take part in it are running around the field dusting. The horsemen rode around the trained their horses. After a while, the bakawal brought the slaughtered goat and threw it in the middle. The riders let their horses walk around the goat and sniff it. Then the horses participating in the Kopkari were gathered together. Bakawal raised his whip over his head and said in a resounding voice, "Riders, listen to me carefully. Do not cheat in the game. Don't insult each other with bad words. Don't whip your opponent's horses. Don't ride on a fallen rider. If someone's horse runs away, help him catch his horse." I am now participating at Kopkari. About 200 riders from 40 villages are competing with each other. There are 2 main rules of Kopkari. After the bakawal throws a trophy in the middle, the riders start trying to pick up the trophy from the ground. If the rider takes the trophy out of the crowd, he will be the first winner. After that, the game will continue again. This time, if a rider takes the trophy to the finish line at a distance of 500 meters, he will be the winner. We are now approaching a place of intense struggle. It's very dusty here, and it's going to be a very fun game. This game can be called a real guys battle. I'm left in the dust, but I am very enjoying this game. After Bakawul introduced the rules and announced the prize, the horsemen began to move in search of the prey. They whip their horses and drive them towards the trophy. The goat was left on the horse hooves. The riders tried to grab the goat, but they couldn't. Their attempts were in vain. The goat did not move. Both the riders and their horses were sweating. The enthusiasm of the horsemen and horses diminished a little. Some of the riders stepped aside, wiped the sweat from their foreheads, and became spectators. Now the riders walking around the crowd began to move towards the trophy. Then a young horseman entered the crowd, kicking his horse with heels. Pushing through the horses, he reached the trophy. He turned the goat around and stopped. He beat his whip and held out his hand to the goat. He had just lifted the trophy. One of the horses who stepped on the goat, and the goat fell from the rider's hand. The horseman was pushed back by the crowd. He stepped to the edge. The rider rode his horse a mile away so that the horse's enthusiasm wouldn't lost and its spirit would not be discouraged. It was as if the horseman had taken out the trophy. No one was able to pick the goat up. Then the Bakawul added another prize. All horsemen are trying with all their might. Someone is lying down, someone is bending over, someone is trying to grab the prey. Here the strength of real guys is tested. The riders urge their horses to fight. They whipped their horses and rushed forward. The horses snorted, neighed. Finally the goat rose from the ground. The crowd slowly began to revive and move to one side. Bakawul shouted, "The goat has risen! The goat has risen!" The riders suddenly began to move. The horses ran with all their might. They ran around the trophy. All their attention was on the goat. Bakawul shouted again, "The trophy is gone!" The rider on the bay horse threw the goat to the ground and walked towards the Bakawul to get his reward. The other riders rode back to the trophy. In some parts of the hill, there are lots of edge stones. Therefore, the horsemen rode cautiously. They were careful not to trip their horses. The white-hoofed horses were only spectators to one side. This is because white horses do not run on rocky ground. The stones hurt their hooves. Bakawul has now announced the next rule of the game. The flag was hoisted next to a deep hole 500 meters away. This pit is called Horalik. Horalik is the hardest, the most difficult part of Kopkari. That is why it is the pride and face of Kopkari. Winning this part of the game is an honor for both the riders and the horse. Taking a trophy to the pit once is more than taking a trophy out of the crown 3 times. We have reached the peak of Kopkari. The prizes are a bull, 2 million sums and a goat. Bakawul added another prize because for a long time no one has been able to take the prey to the finish line. The horsemen went on to move. The goat was taken out by a rider on a chill horse. Some parts of the chill horse's skin are blue, some are white, and some are black. That is why it's called chill. Chill ran turning to the left. On horse tried to catch up, but couldn't even get close to the chill. The horse was sad. The chill horse clearly threw the trophy into the pit this time. The Kopkari, which lasted around 4 hours, finally came to the end. There were many beautiful and energetic horses. They all deserved to win.